All right, so for this question number 6, we got the scatter plot show the life of a cell phone battery. So we got a scatter plot, right? And we got X represent the number of hours spent on phone, and Y represent the battery life remaining in hours. What is the correct interpretation of the slope of the line of best fit? Right. Well, first of all, we can see that the slope is negative because we have it falls from left to right. It's decreasing. The line is decreasing. So obviously, we're talking about something like decrease because we have negative 0.75. We have negative 0.75. So we can see that the battery life like decrease, right, as every 1 hour increases in X. So for every hour, we got the battery life decrease, of 0.75. Now we can see the answers. We have 4 answers there, and definitely we're gonna eliminate process of elimination. We're gonna eliminate 1 and also 4 because they're talking about the battery life increases here, right? And since we have negative, we're talking about decreasing, right? So what's connected to X, which is 0.75, that's going to be the hour. So the answer will be 2, right? The answer will be 2 because the battery life decreases at rate of 0.75 per hour, right? So it's not going to be 3 because the 3 they're talking about the battery life decrease at rate of 9. No, 9 is our y-intercept, all right? So what increases or decrease will be 0.75. That's the slope, right? That's the slope. Like rise over run. So the answer is going to be 2, number 2. Now there's a common mistakes. Some students may use this like the battery life decrease as rate of negative 0.75. Now since you're talking about decreases, you don't need to use negative sign there, right? So when we're talking about decrease of rate of at a rate of 0.75 means like we're talking about negative 0.75, right? So we don't need to use decrease and negative 0.75. That absolutely will be wrong. So the answer will be 2. All right, so in this question number 7, we get a company uses graph to show the cost for shipping an envelope. For example, an envelope that weighs 5 ounces costs $4 to ship. All right, so if you have like an envelope with 5, right, that's going to help us as well to find the slope, by the way. So it's going to be like for 5 ounces, right? It's gonna be for 5 right here. That's going to cost like $4 right here, right? Now that's important point here. I got 5, right? If I have like 5 ounces, it's going to cost me $4. Good. And if CX is the cost to ship an envelope that weighs X ounces, which function can be used to calculate the cost for shipping? Well, first of all, we can see to analyze the graph here, we can see the y-intercept is going to be 3. That's the cost, right? So if the weight is 0, it's going to cost you $3 anyway. Right, it's going to cost you $3. So $3 you must pay. The only answers that have like $3 as a y-intercept is going to be C and D. So definitely you're going to eliminate A and B, right? Process of elimination. Now we want to know which one will be the correct. Which one has the correct slope. Now we can calculate the slope. By the way, we can have like 3. Like from 3 to this one right here, this is going to be like the y-intercept, which is like 0 and 3. That's going to be our y-intercept right here, right? And I can calculate the slope here. So slope, it's going to be, just to remind you, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, changing y over changing x. So by picking like those 2 points, it's going to be like 4 minus 3 over 5 minus 0, which is 1 over 5, which is 0.2, right? So the answer is going to be C because C has 0.2 as a slope and D will be incorrect. Another way you calculate the slope, you can just like get it from the graph. So I want to move from this point to this point right here. So you're going to go like, 1 unit up, like rise over 1, right? So we have like 1 over, and the difference between 0 and here is going to be like 5. It's going to be like 1 over 5. Rise over 1, and we'll give you the same answer, which is 0.2. So the answer will be C. All right, so for number 8, we got the function fx equals negative 12x plus 60 is used to model the amount to fall in the fuel tank of a truck as it travels at a constant rate. Fx is the amount of fuel in the tank in gallons, and x is the number of hours after the truck begins the trip. Which sketch of the graph of x correctly shows the x and y intercept? Well, we have the equation here. That's our equation. We got negative 12x plus 60. So we're talking about the line is decreasing. So we're going to eliminate 2 answers immediately, right? So the process of elimination, we're going to eliminate x, we're going to eliminate C and D, right? Because both of them, they have the line increasing. We're talking about the positive slope. And here we have negative slope. This is negative slope. So so negative 12 is less than 0. So we're going to choose either A or B. Now, both of them, they have the y-intercept 60, which is right here. That's going to be like 60, okay? So both of them has the same y-intercept, which is, we know, that's going to be, definitely is going to be one of them. Now, which one will be the correct answer? Which one will be the correct answer? Is it A or B? Well, there is something also. We can use the y-intercept. I mean, we can use x-intercept actually as x equals 0, as x equals 0. As y equals 0. So the x-intercept. We know that y-intercept is when x equals 0. In this case, y is 60. Okay. So that's clear. Both of them, they have the same y-intercept, which is when x equals 0. So when x equals 0 right here, when it's 0, we got y 60. When x equals 0, we got y 60. Now I want to know what about the x-intercept? No, this is the x-intercept. No, the x-intercepts, that's the value of x where y is 0. So what is the value of x? Right? And we can use this one. We have the equation. We got like y equals negative 12x plus 60. So we can use x-intercept when we substitute like y with 0, and we're gonna solve for x, right? So we're gonna have like negative 12x plus 60. So let's subtract 60 on both sides. All right. So we're gonna have like negative 60 equals negative 12. X, and we're going to divide by negative 12 on both sides here, right? And negative over negative is positive, is gone. 60 divided by 12, we're going to have 5. So x will be 5. So the x-intercept, when y equals 0, x will be 5. So the answer will be A, right? The answer will be A. Another way to solve this problem here, you can see, after we discovered, after both of them, we have the same y-intercept. We can also calculate the slope. By the way, we can calculate the slope, right? And let's suppose I got this point right here and this point, right? So so it's gonna be the slope. It's gonna be like rise over 1. So I want to go from this point to this point. I'm gonna go down by 60, right? It's gonna be like 60, but it's gonna be negative because I'm going down. And I will go to the right here by 5 units. It's gonna be from 0 to 5. That's gonna be like 5, and negative 60 over 5. That would be negative 12. That's another way to calculate the slope, right? And that's why the answer is gonna be A. All right, so I got this question number 9. The scatter plot showed the monthly balance in Mike's account for 2013. So as you can see, the y-axis is going to be like the balance in dollars, right? And the x-axis shows like the month since to January 2013. The equation of the line of best fit is y equals negative 44x plus 1,000, right? Now that that's going to be, as we can see, the account is decreasing like by $44 for every month, because X represent the number of month, right, and Y represent the balance of the account, right? So when there is no, so the account, for example, for Mike, right, the account for Mike was $1,000, right, in when X equals 0, when X equals 0, right? If but when but every month we can see that the account is decreasing by $44. So the question is, what is the correct interpretation of the slope of trend line? I want to interpret the slope. We can see we have the line is decreasing, so the slope is negative, right? So we're talking about decreasing, not increasing, right? And we can see for there are like a couple of interpretations here. So for every month, the general that every month, right, increases, right, or every 1 month increases, we got the account is decreasing, right, by $44. So I came up with this like kind of couple of interpretation right here, right? So I got the kind of two interpretations here. The first one, you can write like Mike's account is decreasing by $44 every month. Interpretation number two, Mike spends like $44 every month, right? Or every 1 month increases, right? The account of Mike will expect it to decrease by $44. So that's kind of like general interpretation, and it varies like from one to one, but the idea is this is kind of like, for me, is one of the best interpretation for this line.